Hi, Andrew. I'm glad that you brought up the ramifications if you accuse somebody of drinking on the job and they're innocent. Unfortunately, as forgiving as we all are supposed to be, that's not always the case. Unfortunately, when somebody is accused of something like cheating on their spouses, sexual harassment, or drinking on the job, operating under the influence, once the accusation's been made, it tends to haunt them or at least be in the background of their professional career. I worked with somebody who admitted that they had a problem with alcoholism. He never admitted to being under the influence at work and stated he never was. He, however, did admit that he was hungover at work a few times and started to show some signs of alcohol withdrawal if he put in too long of a shift. He was able to admit that he needed help, and he has been to the inpatient rehab at least twice that I'm aware of. When he returned to work after doing his rehab, he was doing better. He was exercising, really turning his life around. I did have to administer PBT, or the breathalyzer test, randomly, and every time he showed up clean. Now, however, with the alcoholism, of course, usually comes some mental health. So now every time he has anxiety, depression, or just simply a bad day, when I go to my administrative meetings, I hear them make comments again about, well, he's drinking again. We should test him. He's drinking again. And like I said, it just kind of haunts him no matter what, even though I've talked to him many times. I do not believe he's operating under the influence, and he's been tested. I think it's just mental health, but like I said, it always does haunt him. We had another employee, a very respectable nurse, that staff suspected she was using uppers or some other kind of pills. She denied the accusations and even submitted hair and urine samples willingly to help prove her innocence. There was no proof that said she was impaired. So I ended up working with this employee on different projects. It was later discovered that she had a heart condition that caused her heart to race with no additional stimulation. So all of a sudden she would just get like a twitch, and then she would get a rash on her skin. And staff continued to make suggestions that she was on something. Turns out she had the heart condition, and she had cardiac surgery, and now she's better, no further problems. However, the staff continued to make suggestions that she is using something that wasn't tested for. Look, I know she's on something. Look at the rash on her face. That's the rash you get. Look at how she's twitching. Unfortunately, she did try to escape the stigma and prove everybody wrong multiple times, but it was hard to escape, and unfortunately, she ended up quitting and going to a different facility. Because whenever either one of these employees were having a bad day, it was usually blamed on a substance, either alcoholism or pills, which they both were denied, and they were both proven to be accurate. They were both investigated, but like I said, unfortunately, that stigma does stay with you, no matter how confidential and non-biased you tend to be, it still tends to haunt you. The good news is, though, the employee that did switch facilities has not had a problem since there. Unfortunately, though, we did lose a very good nurse, and the situation is what it is. But the other facility did gain a very good nurse. That's the end of my reply.